Story time! I notice on YouTube, for whatever reason, people do not relay their personal stories that often. Usually they have to show an incident or something and people watch the videotape. It's like, we don't want to hear a story, we want to see it. Well, this is going to be relaying a story. Maybe it's just so I can, like, who knows, like 200 years from now, one of my great nephews will be like, hey, how's my great Uncle George? What is he doing? And he can see this story. Okay. Anyway, this story is of an incident about 18 years ago. Almost 18 years ago. Yeah, I just turned 18. And I lived in the high desert. And I had just come up, and my sister was already living here. And she invited me over to play a game of Scrabble, just as a get-to-know-you type thing. And my older sister, of course. And so I drive to her place for the first or second time. I don't remember. And basically, we play Scrabble, and I'm like, I think she ripped me apart in Scrabble. I don't know. Anyway, she also like gave me this big old burger with like onions and stuff. And one thing you have to know is certain foods will make my breath like really stink hardcore. And I think a hamburger with onions can, yeah, that can like tip the trigger to the point where they're like, get away from me, get away. All right. So I'm like, oh, thank you, sis, for giving me the hamburger, whatever, it's time to go. So I'm on my way back, and I think, okay, I don't need the directions, I can just drive back. I'm like, but there's one part where I was like, do I go left or right? And not thinking it, I actually put the car to the left lane. It's like, no, I should be in the left lane. No, I should be in the right lane. I was like, wait a minute, it's the left lane. And then I go back to the left lane. And as soon as I go back to the left lane, these big old red and blue lights flash behind me. I'm like, oh, suck. And okay, I pull to the side of the road. And I'm nervous out of my mind, thinking, what is this guy pulling me over? I freak out when people pull me over. I'm like, they're gonna arrest me, beat me like Rodney King or something. I don't know. I get paranoid, super paranoid of being pulled over by cops. It's one of my phobias. So I'm like just scared as a cat, and that just got squirted with the water gun. Okay. Anyway, so the cop knocks on my window. I pull down the window, and he's like this John Wayne type of cop, and he goes, he says, excuse me, son. He said, have you been smoking pot? Smoking pot? What? No, I haven't. Then how come you were weaving back and forth back there in the lanes? I'm like, the reason, because I didn't know where I was going, officer. Sorry about that. I thought maybe right or left. Sorry. He's like, I think you've been smoking pot. And you know why? I know this. What? No, why? 'Cause your eyes, they're bright, beet red. And I was like, officer, it's allergy season. I sneeze like 1 trillion times. I have allergies. Trust me. It's like, there's only one way I can tell if you've been smoking pot or not. So how's that? Let me smell your breath. Let me smell it, boy. I was like, I don't think you want to do that, officer. Trust me on this. You do not want to smell my breath. Please, that is not a good idea. You're just not going to like it. He's like, let me smell your breath. And he leans in like this. I'm like, okay, you asked for it. I go, I kid you not, the officer staggers back 2 steps. He goes, okay, you can go. And he goes back to his car, and I go on my merry way. But that's, I guess, I know police are you know, that's what they're paid to do, to presume, you know. But this time the officer kind of had it backfire on. I had really bad breath. It was so bad it actually made the cop walk like a couple steps backwards and say, "You can go." All right, that's my story about the cop, bad breath, the onions, and marijuana. Hope you enjoyed it. Woo!